Hi everyone, let me begin by thanking you for taking the time to listen to the podcast today. It's show number 1 and I'm so glad you could join me. Stoicism is a school of thought, a philosophy which dates back roughly 2,000 years to ancient Greece and the time of the Roman Empire. Using the teachings of Stoicism and quotes from many of its most prominent characters, we'll discuss how the words they used were put into firm action, how it helped them through life's challenges, and how those very same words, ideas and actions can benefit you and I today, to help us live a better life, to help others, and to help ourselves. With each episode, we'll be exploring one facet, one theme or idea that will hopefully give you, the listeners, something to take in and digest. My sincere hope is that you'll find something in each episode that interests you and gives you something to consider that maybe you hadn't before. We're going to begin with one of the most fundamental principles of Stoic philosophy, the idea of choice and of control. Often referred to as the Dichotomy of Control, it's the perfect place for us to begin our journey together. As it's one of the core concepts, I've chosen to subdivide it into 3 facets, and they'll make up the first few episodes of our podcast. So, let's begin. The Stoics believed that at the core of human happiness and well-being was the acknowledgement that there are factors in our lives which are controllable and others which are not. Those things which are up to us and those things which aren't. Beautiful in its simplicity and at times incredibly difficult to put into practice. But if we're able to simply acknowledge that there are some things, many things in life that are outside of our control, then we're able to begin working on accepting this fact. One of the primary figures in all of Stoicism was Epictetus, a man who taught and really lived the words of Stoicism. In one of his most famous works, Discourses, he states, quote, "The chief task in life is simply this, to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals, not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Where then do I look for good and evil? Not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself, to the choices that are my own." End quote. That's from Discourses 2.5. It's worth noting that the philosophy of Stoicism began over 2,000 years ago, and between all the individuals to have developed and taught the subject, this theme has remained at its heart. It's why Epictetus calls it the chief task. It's the bedrock upon which all of the decisions and reasoning takes place. The Stoics didn't have easy lives. They lived in a brutal age, faced with many hardships, wars, tyranny, slavery, murder, and exile. There could be no doubt they would have taken comfort from their understanding of this idea of control. In any context, it's a reassuring thought. If their ideas only needed to be placed on what they could control, and not wasted on thoughts and actions that would ultimately bear no fruit, then what a heavy burden that would be lifted from their shoulders. The relief that comes with realizing that there is only a small proportion of factors that we have any influence over is not to be understated. In fact, it's monumental. Think of it for yourself in your own life. At certain times in each of our lives, we have all carried the weight of the world on our shoulders. We felt heavy. We felt tired, powerless, and overwhelmed. I just can't do it all, we think. But when you look at a situation plainly, objectively, honestly, when you see it for what it truly is, you will see that oftentimes there is only a portion of it, if any at all in some cases, that is within our control. And that's okay. And if you need a prompt, take this quote, another from Epictetus, in which he gives us examples of those things which are internals and externals. He states, quote, "Some things are in our control while others are not. We control our opinion, choice, desire, aversion, and in a word, everything of our own doing. We don't control our body, property, reputation, position, and in a word, everything not of our own doing. Even more, the things in our control are by nature free, unhindered and unobstructed, while those not in our control are weak, slavish, can be hindered, and are not our own. Epictetus, Enchiridion 1.1. It's plain here that he places the utmost respect and value in those things which are ours to control, and conversely, he reduces those things which are not. He calls them weak and hindered. In doing so, he takes the power of these things away. He devalues the uncontrollables, not for us to worry about, stating without doubt that there is an absolute value in acknowledging the things that are ours, and that there is little to no value in those which are external. So today I would encourage you to carry this thought with you. Just start with the basics. The foundation of anything is where the strength lies. I'm sure there would have been times where you felt emotions that were challenging, brought on by moments, events, and circumstances that you wished just could have been different. Now think about the words of Epictetus. There are many factors which you cannot control, but, and this is the crucial part, you can control how you react to them. Allow yourself to breathe with that thought a moment. Allow yourself to take the weight of the uncontrollable off your shoulders. That's not yours to worry about. Put it down. There was nothing you could do about it. If you could, then you would have, right? Focus on what you can control and gradually accept the rest for what it is. Allow it to be. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'll be putting out weekly shows about a variety of topics like Stoicism, wellbeing, health, and more. I really hope you can join me for the next episode. And if you think you know someone who might enjoy or benefit from listening, then please pass it on to them too. If you're listening via our YouTube channel, then please like, subscribe, and share. We look forward to welcoming you back next time on the Stoic Moment podcast. Until then, be well and take care.